One of the most influential names that comes to mind when we talk about existentialism or psychoanalysis or world literature would be Fyodor Dostoyevsky, a unique individual whose writings remain to inspire readers all over the world even today. On the 11th of November 1821, Fyodor Mikhailovich Dostoyevsky was born in Moscow to parents who were noble in rank. A young Dostoyevsky was raised with strong Orthodox Christian beliefs under a strict father. At the age of 15, he went to Nikolayev Military Engineering Institute under the orders of his father. This did not fit either his temperament nor his ability. Soon, the young boy had to face the death of both his parents. Having been introduced to literature at a very young age, he was able to cope with the tragedies that befell his life. Dostoyevsky was drawn to romantic and gothic fiction, especially the works of Sir Walter Scott, Anne Radcliffe, Nikolai Karamzin, Friedrich Schiller, and Alexander Pushkin. In the year 1843, Dostoyevsky graduated and became a sub-lieutenant, but this was soon cast aside when he broke through as an overnight celebrity with his first novel, Poor Folk. Though Dostoyevsky became a writer with the translation of Honoré de Balzac's novel Eugenie Grandet, the publication of Poor Folk earned him the praise a new Gogol. Dostoyevsky was just 25 years old. Trying his hand in fiction and short stories, our aspiring writer did not strike gold afterwards and was pushed to the brink of poverty. His succeeding novel, The Double, was published in a journal called Notes of the Fatherland. It was heavily criticized as a failure. Dostoyevsky was now filled with a concrete repository of ideas combined with stark Christian beliefs. It was not long before he found himself in the Petrashevsky Circle, a literary discussion group that upheld philosophical views and social ideals. In the year 1849, Dostoyevsky was working on Netochka Nezvanova, but it never saw completion as the members of the Petrashevsky Circle were arrested under the orders of Tsar Nicholas I. At the age of 27, Dostoyevsky's life went through a drastically transformative period. Dostoyevsky, along with the other members of the Petrashevsky Circle, were sentenced to life. It was followed by a 5-year forced service in the Siberian military. One of the most important incidents in the writer's life occurred on the 23rd of December 1849. The accused prisoners were taken to an execution ground, and soon Dostoyevsky was amidst a row of fellow inmates facing a barrel of guns. Before the firing could start, the execution was withheld and the prisoners were left to serve the remainder of their sentence. After serving in the Siberian military, Dostoyevsky was educated in the powers of the common man. Enlightened, he came back to the world, and his experiences in the military camp helped him write The House of the Dead, which was serialized in the year 1860. This part of Dostoyevsky's life is noticeable for its monumental literary contribution. In the 1860s, some of Dostoyevsky's most influential works were published. Though they are popular even today, Dostoyevsky's life was always on the verge of bankruptcy and was always falling apart. On the one side, there was his failed marriages and affairs. On the other side, a cursed disease that shook him from the tender age of 18, and most pitiful of all, his addiction to gambling. His Notes from the Underground is claimed to be the first existential novel. Crime and Punishment is so popular that it has been adapted to the screen more than 30 times. Dostoyevsky, at one point, made a bet to complete a novel within 26 days to F.T. Stolovsky. The condition being that the failure to do so shall result in the latter publishing Dostoyevsky's novel for free. Thus came the novella The Gambler, which was completed with the help of Anna Grigorievna, whom he later married. The Idiot is pretty much a novel that dives deep into the character of Dostoyevsky himself. It deals with the events of the mock execution and many other gripping episodes of the writer's life. Demons was based on the murder of a member inside the group called People's Vengeance. It was not until the last phase of one tumultuous personal life, accompanied by an unstable literary career, that contributed to journals like The Times, The Russian Messenger, and The Citizen, that Dostoyevsky's magnum opus came into existence. The Brothers Karamazov is so popular that even Sigmund Freud called it the most magnificent novel ever written. On the 9th of February 1881, due to a case of pulmonary hemorrhage, The man who would later on inspire other brilliant writers like Kafka, Ellison, Hemingway, Nietzsche, and Freud passed away. Dostoyevsky's funeral was estimated to be attended by more than 100,000 people. From his writings, other genres like dystopian fiction and existential novels were introduced to the grand tradition of world literature.